Good Thursday morning, everybody. Chris Allen here on the Sam channel, Facebook, YouTube, Instagram, Twitter on this Thursday, December 8th, with rain coming in this morning, and it's raining pretty good across the area, or just beginning to. This is the beginning of the next round of rain that is going to be with us pretty much all day today. And even then, as this wave passes over, we're not done. There's several more waves to come over the next several days that's going to keep us wet and a little unsettled at times. So carry the umbrella. You're going to need the windshield wipers, of course, this morning for sure. As you can see, there are that yellow indicating there back to toward the land between the lakes. Some pretty decent steady rainfall, sometimes even heavy rainfall. But this wave will continue to push through the area as you not only head to work, but as you're at work today, and maybe letting up some later this afternoon. Right now, the time is 4:51 as I record this podcast, so that gives you an idea. This is looking all the way back into parts of the Boot Hill of Missouri. So we still have a ways to go here for these showers and perhaps even a rumble of thunder. But the thunder factor or the convection factor, there's not a lot of instability there. So I think you may hear a rumble of thunder, but otherwise there's not a whole lot going on with that. It's just going to be a ton of rain. Not a ton, but it's going to be a lot of rain, maybe half inch or more for many of us as we go through the day. Here's a look at the next 10 days. Blended models up front, mid 50s to upper 50s today, 61 or 2 tomorrow. Then we get into the 50s for a couple of days, Sunday and Monday over the weekend. And then here we go back into the 60s, kind of an up and down forecast here. But the story is eventually we are going to be getting colder. As you see there, by next weekend, we're certainly going to be colder than average. Average high right now, 52. And you see those 42s there from next Friday through Sunday. Well, that's the colder air coming in, and then overnight lows will eventually drop into the 20s, more winter-like, as we will by then officially go into winter from fall. Now, there will be times of rain in between. In fact, we're looking at some pretty decent rain chances coming up over the next several days, not just today, but the next several days as well. Okay, now you know what's ahead. Let's take a look at the right now and take a look at all the details. Here's a look at the Kentucky mesonet sites as of almost 5 a.m. this morning. Temperatures mild, 40s, 50s all across the area, more into the mid 50s as you go down toward the Tennessee border. I'm curious, though, about rainfall totals so far. Let's go 24 hours. Well, let's go the past 24 hours. Okay. So there we go. We've got mostly a tenth to a quarter of an inch, but look down here in Tompkinsville, 1.22 inches of rain since this hour yesterday. And if you were watching me yesterday morning, you know that this was the area right along the Tennessee border that picked up well over an inch and almost 2 inches. In fact, wasn't it Tompkinsville that picked up 2 inches as we were doing this podcast? I think so. And look there, over an inch, just over an inch now in Albany and County. Everybody else, lighter amounts. Let's back that up just out of curiosity, past 48 hours. And there you go. Yeah, that's where it was. Look at that. 308 in Tompkinsville. You've had over 3 inches of rain the last 2 days. Over 2 inches there in Scottsville. And, well, not really an inch here in Bowling Green. Some locations picked up 1, 2, almost 3 inches of rain over in the Cumberland Plateau. But there you go. That's the last 2 days, not 24 hours, 2 days. 48 hours, keeping up with the measurements there thanks to the Kentucky mesonet sites. So we've had some decent rainfall, especially if you live near the Tennessee border, and it looks like you're going to get a little bit more as we go through time. All right, let's take a look at the details on the temperatures. We'll start with right now with mostly 50s across southern Kentucky, into middle Tennessee, some 40s off to the north. Temperature's not going to move much today. I think we're going to stay sort of in the low to mid 50s. You could get 57, 58, closer to 60 in Nashville, but only upper 40s to low 50s north of us up toward Louisville and E-Town. That's that warmer air that is coming in with that wave of moisture that's over us this morning, bringing the rain. So don't expect a lot of change in temperature. What it is now is more likely where it's going to be for the rest of today, and that goes for tonight too. Just low to mid 50s, not really changing much. Even though I'm hitting the button, changing the maps here, nothing's changing at all. Until we get into tomorrow, maybe slightly warmer. Warm front tries to work its way into the area, shuts off the rain for a while. We may get closer to 60 or maybe even 61 or 2 for a high temperature on Friday, void of the rain again this morning, and will be with us for much of the day. Okay, so what about that rain? Let's take a look at the maps here, and I'll show you what the future radar is showing. This is the way it looks now, as I showed you with the actual live radar just a few minutes ago. Here we go with the showers making its way through the area this morning. We go through late morning, through midday, through early afternoon. Yeah, it's going to be with us for a good chunk of the day until we get into the afternoon. And then that warm front starts to make its way northward and essentially kind of shuts off the waterworks, if you will, later on this afternoon. That's not to say there won't be some drizzle or light rain, but most of this will be done as we get into Friday, early Friday, Friday day. Here we go. Not a lot happening at first. Then we still have an approaching cold front. And I think that's going to affect us once we get into Saturday. Now, I know Saturday, there's still a full day of parades, including the rescheduled Bowling Green Christmas parade, which can place at 9:30 Saturday morning. And around that time, here we go. We're going to begin to see showers rolling back into Bowling Green and southern Kentucky on Saturday morning. Maybe even some rumbles of thunder, and much of the day is going to be like today, rainy. Now, Saturday, there's what? There's Bowling Green, there's Edmonton, there's Cave City. There might be more, but those are the three that we're going to be a part of. So we it'll be mild, but we'll have to take some rain gear with us. And if you're going to be out watching the parades on Saturday, uh, count on some rain. It just looks like it's a sure bet. How much rain? Well, this that I'm about to show you is going to look a little bit of alarming, but this is for a 7-day period total. It's not going to hit all at once. So I want you to know that before I show you this graphic, okay? This is going to be for the next week. Total rainfall. Here we go. Boom. That's why I had to put that caveat at the beginning there, that little, hey, don't look at this at face value and go, oh my goodness, what in the world? It's going to come a flood. No, this is going to be a little bit at a time. These little waves of rain come through, and each one produces about an inch or half an inch, and then another inch and a quarter. Add to that, add to that, add to that. So if you take it all starting right now and going all the way through next Thursday, this is the total projected rainfall, which is going to put us in about the 2 to 3 inch column. Okay. The heaviest of rains is going to be back in West Tennessee, far western Kentucky, and there we're talking 3 to 4 inches, maybe more. But this is collectively over 1 week, 7 days. But it just shows you that, yeah, we're in for many rounds of rain, which, after the severe drought of the late summer, early fall, we could use this because we're still 6 inches behind on rainfall. Even though we picked up about an inch yesterday, we still could use a lot more rain. And if it comes like it's going to come in these waves, we're okay. We're not going to get flooding. It's going to help put a real dent in that deficit, which is something we need. Okay, here's a look at the maps this morning. As we see the warm front will try to start to make its way northward today with the showers progressing into southern Kentucky, which they are. I can hear it raining right now at my house here at 5 a.m. And it's going to continue to come in waves today, then taper off a little this afternoon as the warm front begins to make its way through. A little tight cutoff here as the cold front makes its way through as well. Then everything kind of shuts off for a while. Friday, I'm looking at Friday being mainly dry, at least for a better part of the day. The early morning, there could be some leftover sprinkles, and there will definitely, because of warmer air coming in, there's definitely going to be patchy fog. There's some out there right now, but tonight and tomorrow morning, there will be some fog, okay, as we get the day started on Friday. And then as we get into late Friday night, early Saturday morning, as I was talking to you about the Christmas parades, here we go with rain again. And there you see the cold front coming through by early Sunday, shutting off the rain once again, but it's rinse and repeat, rinse and repeat, rinse and repeat, rinse and what? Repeat. Okay, I will. Rinse and repeat. It very much is a rinse and repeat forecast because here we go, same setup with warm front to the south, cold front out west, lots of moisture, lots of snow and cold out in the plains. And this is a system that is really, I talked about it yesterday, how this one is going to be a much stronger system that gets wound up first in the Rockies, then the plains, and then it comes across our neck of the woods by Tuesday, Wednesday of next week. This is Monday. Showers reappear. Then look at this thing. Lots of wind. When you see those isobars tightly put together, that's wind. A lot of it. There's a lot of wind energy. There will be a lot of thunderstorm and maybe severe weather with this system. Not necessarily here, but somewhere nearby, there is going to be some rough weather as we get into Tuesday and to Wednesday of next week. Look at that thing. Now, this doesn't have the precipitation painted in, but you can bet we're going to be windy, it's going to be warm, and it's going to be stormy. And then around this low pressure system, a cold front ahead of it and the main cold front behind it, there's going to be some nasty weather that happens somewhere in our vicinity, we'll say, by Tuesday, Wednesday of next week, maybe even into early Thursday. Therefore, you saw that big plume of rain collectively setting over us, several inches of rain by that time. All right, just be careful this morning. There are wet roadways everywhere and some standing water, little ponds of water on the roads. Don't hydroplane, slow down and take it easy this morning. Getting ready to head to Sam 100.7 this morning for the morning show, 6 to 10. In the meantime, God bless you. Thank you for watching. Have a great day, and I'll see you on the radio.